Everyone knows in this crazy market, knowledge is power. So here's some of the things that us brokers look for and you should look for as well. When you're looking at a home, this is obviously what to look at, possible red flags, advantages, and how you can use all that to get leverage in order to get the perfect price on the perfect home. You take a look at the basic house, take a look at the paint, the front door, you look along the foundation, look for any stress cracks, anything that might indicate that you may have a problem later down the line, as well as just taking a look around the garden, seeing if it's well kept. And then obviously you want to walk around the property extensively to get a better view of how much square footage you're really working with here, as well as the amount of windows and how much sunlight will naturally be coming through. Then you want to look around the neighborhood. People don't always think about this because they're so focused on the house, they're kind of caught up in the moment, but you want to look at the houses that are nearby, right? You want to look at approximately the condition they're in, the size, how well kept they are, as well as how close you are to your neighbors, because all of this will play into the overall price and what value you think it is. Here we go. Along the backyard too, something to be aware of is the noise. Like, are you near a main street? Is near a lot of businesses? I mean, some houses are near the freeway, which are terrible. People don't even realize because they're in the house, they're too distracted. Got double pane windows going on, as well as in between your neighbors' houses. Is like it fenced off? Do you have natural growth? Take a good look at the roof. You know, I mean, roofs can last 20 years or longer, but a lot of the times, you know, with these older roofs, sellers will not always mention how old it is because they don't want to lose on the value. As well as taking a look at the gutters and also where the downspouts feed out into. So like this one goes below the deck. You want to follow that through and see where the outlet goes, because you don't want running water near the foundation of your house. Obviously most homes have a water heater, right? So when you find it, you're going to want to take a good look at it. Obviously you can pay attention to the approximate cost it's going to be per month. Most of the time they also have a label on it to let you know how old it is. This one I came to find actually doesn't, but it does say up here that it was installed November 18th, 2021. It's important to remember that because water heaters typically last anywhere from about 8 to 12 years. And, you know, it could be upwards of, you know, about $2,000. If you just buy your house, that'd be a nice little surprise. And you want to make sure that you don't get surprised like that. Plus, you also see the straps on it. These are earthquake straps. You want one at the top. You also want one at the bottom. And if you have two of them, they have to be individually strapped. Because I've seen some of them that are kind of daisy chained together. That's not the best way of going about that. But obviously take a good look at your water heater. Alright, next is the fuse box. Obviously you're going to want to take a look at this because you have obviously everything. Make sure that's properly connected to what it says it is, as well as if you're looking for extra sources of, you know, energy later on. If you want to do like electrical projects in your house, it's always good to have room to expand. So always take a good look at the electrical box to get a good view of what's going on. This one may be a no-brainer, but I thought I'd mention it because some people just don't think of it. Obviously doesn't hurt just to check. Make sure the water's good. You know, maybe run the oven, take a quick look inside the fridge, this kind of stuff. Just make sure that the appliances generally are working fine. One time I saw a customer run the dishwasher. It's like, okay, you know, I get it. Make sure that everything's good, up to par. You can ask about the age of the appliances. Some people are big on knowing the name brand of the appliances. So, just a good thing to check out. So this is a big one to consider that almost nobody thinks of, but it obviously plays a lot into the home, is checking out the windows. You know, like I said before, if you're in a noisy environment, you definitely want double pane windows, but the big thing here is making sure that, you know, they're properly sealed, because moisture plays a huge role in your house right there. You don't want that coming in. Also, as well as like little things, I mean, you can look if there's any cracks, need any repairs. Some people, like if you live in a more humid environment with lots of bugs, make sure you have screens. And this is a big one that I talked about when we were on the outside of the house, but can also be on the inside of the house, is stress cracks. This is a sign that the foundation may not be as solid as it once was, as well as looking at, is the door frame properly, is it properly located? Like, here, I'll show you. You've got to close this door, right, and it looks fine until you look up. See that? It's shifted. Everyone loves a good view, right? You're not going to not notice a great view. Everybody notices that. It's one of the top things people notice. But something to keep in mind, and you should ask your broker about or inquire about yourself, is if something will be built that will impede your view. Like, say that house wasn't right there and they were doing a construction site. What if they planned on putting, you know, a 12-story apartment building right there? Now suddenly I can't see very well anymore. These are good things to know. This is a big one too. This can be easily overlooked sometimes, especially with the older homes. Especially when you're going on stairs. Listen to the sounds that they make as you go up. You don't have to stomp around on it, but just kind of listen around, because stairs are usually the ones where you can really feel it. Or perhaps if there's like a dent or a spot in the floor where it sinks down lower than the rest, that may be a sign that the floors may be a bit older, need to be replaced. Possibly just a section, but it could be the whole flooring after a certain amount of years. Again, right here, you have a little bit of a crack. Obviously, you know, with checking everything, you want to make sure that light switches are not only working, but they're also firmly sealed. This is also one that's sometimes overlooked, although a lot of people do tend to notice nowadays, is making sure that your electrical is up to date. Some of these older houses that were built prior to the 70s, maybe even the 80s, it only had 2 prongs. This ground right here wasn't built in, and this is, you know, this is very important because this is kind of your ground fault inhibitor. This is what prevents electrical surges from potentially frying your equipment. As well as, you know, obviously for internet or cable, you want to have some of these around here too, though those are pretty standard nowadays. They're just a few of the things that you should look for in a home. Hopefully this was helpful. Obviously there can be more things with other homes. There's special features with some things, like some properties have a lot more land, or like a bigger driveway, a bigger garden. Maybe they have a lot of room to expand on the electrical box. Whatever it may be, it's good to bring a good broker with you to have a good look around. And obviously if it's an older home, make sure to get inspections, sewer inspections. It doesn't hurt to talk to the neighbors, to like find out about the neighborhood, to get used to you know, certain things that you may not have been aware of, as well as just trying to take the best possible look around the property as you can. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, comment, let me know if I can help in any other way.